Logical thinking and an open mind is critical and key when watching these videos. We talk about metaphysics on this channel, so in case you didn't know, now you know.
Buddha. Buddha.
Hello everyone, welcome back to SIT, SN, Sirius Inner Temple, Spiritual Network. Okay, I have a brief announcement for you guys. Because of the fact that BitChute was giving me problems with the video formatting and uploading, I have now created a channel on a website called Odyssey. The link is in the description below. Go on Odyssey and follow me on Sirius Inner Temple on Odyssey. All the videos from now on that will be on Sirius Inner Temple will be on Odyssey now, including the new ones and a lot of the old classic joints that you guys like from season 1, 2, and 3 and whatnot. A lot of those will be up there as well, including new ones. And when YouTube eventually croaks and crashes and burns, I will be on Odyssey instead of YouTube when that time comes, or when YouTube finally decides to get rid of me, whichever one comes first. Okay, so what exactly are we talking about here today on Sirius Inner Temple? Okay. We are discussing the Arctic UFOs, Antarctica, what's going on with the U.S. Navy, what's going on with our military, the U.S. Air Forces, and the secret space programs. We're talking about what's going on with Donald Trump. We had 2 videos on Sirius Inner Temple talking about Donald Trump, and it turns out I was correct about Donald Trump, him going against the Illuminati and the so-called, what you would like to refer to as your ARCHONS and stuff like this. Yes, he went against them, and we're going to be discussing a lot about this on this subject here on Sirius Inner Temple, dealing with the spaceships, the UFO agenda, the whole agenda dealing with carbon and the carbon dated people on the planet. And we're going to be discussing what's going on right now, currently in this time frame. And I need your undivided attention. So, all right, done with the intro. Now let's begin. Today, a lot of people are starting to see a lot of strange things going on. You have the CDC talking about, many different scenarios dealing with your Pfizer vaccine. You have different factions of government dealing with certain groups, and you have the Biden administration doing certain things. And people are starting to notice these things more and more now, and people are starting to see that this man Biden, there's something really off with him. We're going to be explaining what's really going on. And the whole alien UFO agenda, and dealing with the, the Space Force that Donald Trump initiated with the Trump administration. We're going to be discussing all of this. All right, let's begin. So, one thing that we must understand is that our government has been dealing with extraterrestrial beings since the beginning. What do I mean by that? When these individuals landed down here, we know the whole 9 yards. They came down here and tried to establish some type of governing system over the peoples of the world. Trump was put in as a mole to go in, find out what's going on, and destroy all of those large and large amounts of adrenochrome that the insectoids and the reptilians have been using to keep themselves alive. We talked about adrenochrome on Reptilians Part 2. It's in, I believe, Season 3. And dealing with, Season 3. We talked about adrenochrome and what it does for draconian reptilians and also insectoids as well. Donald Trump was sent in by a group called the Arcturians. The Arcturians have recently become allied with the individuals that we call Andromedans. Now, we talked about the Andromedans and how the Andromedans helped to put Trump in office. I wasn't wrong about that either. In fact, that was true. In case you guys don't realize this, I said this years ago before I even knew anything about Remedy H. And even he confirmed it himself, that I was correct. See that? I know a lot more than what I'm saying, people. I know a lot more than what I'm saying. And see, the thing is this. The Andromedans and the Arcturians are now working together to try to go against the ones that are falling apart, and they're losing their power as we speak right now. And current time frame today, they destroyed all the adrenochrome, the blood banks. All these blood banks are getting, people don't even realize that these blood banks are getting shut down. Okay, a lot of the blood banks a lot of the blood supplies, and all these organ donors that have been sending out their organs for so and so and so and so to get cured or whatnot. All of the human trafficking, the organ trafficking that's been going on, all these pedophile rigs and stuff like this. A lot of this stuff has been stopped by Donald Trump. Yes, he sent in certain individuals. He has his own army down here. And they've been going around taking note of things and literally putting in serious work. 75% of the shadow government has now been destroyed. 75% of all of their weaponry, all the stuff that keeps them alive, all the resources that they have to keep themselves in power, 75% of that stuff is all gone. They only got 25% left, people. The Draconians and Insectoids, they're walking around looking all weak right now. And the Pleiadians are watching what's going on. They're very much aware of what's going on. And the Pleiadians, as you can see here, dealing with your secret space programs. Okay, dealing with your secret space programs. They have been watching from afar to see what was going to happen on the planet, because they want the planet to be plentiful for their species. Okay, because they need to terraform the planet Tiamat. They want to terraform the planet. And we talked about terraforming on the video dealing with Pleiadians. Search it up if you haven't already on Sirius Inner Temple. We talked about terraforming and what that means and the importance of that. If you don't know what that is, search up my videos. Now, Biden, as you guys well know, he is in fact an insectoid. He has insectoid genetic within him. They're telling you that all these people are fighting and that there's going to be some type of fight between China and America and all this. Listen, all these people are together. What we need to focus on right now is the Biden administration and what they're doing. The Biden administration is completely against all of Trump's policies. And they're also against his space program, because the space program is to keep a watchful eye on these archons and what they're doing down here, because they need to know if it's safe for them to get off the planet at a certain time frame. This is why you guys started seeing on Fox 5 and places like that that are not necessarily owned by your elite oligarchy in this country or whatnot, your 13 royal families. But Fox 5 started showing images of some kind of, unidentified object, some kind of UFO of sorts in the sky, and you had these guys in fighter jets or whatnot looking at this stuff, and even they confirmed that it was real. And you have a whole lot of that stuff going on in the Arctic. Almost all of that ice is now gone, and they're seeing pyramids and all kinds of technologies and ancient structures in Antarctica right now. People are already starting to see grass growing in Antarctica right now. You have over millions of dead bodies of Anunnaki people frozen in that ice, and they're all, of course, doing fracking over there, because of course they want to get into inner Earth. But now, see, because now that Trump, see, what you guys don't understand is this: Trump actually won. He is our final president. He won the so-called, with the ballots and whatnot, the voting and all that. When it comes to that, yes, he won. There's evidence everywhere online. Okay, he won. It's obvious. But the thing is this: Biden, he is not that he of course he lost. But the thing is this: after Trump did what he did, the Illuminati put all of its resources together to get an inside man on the front lines, pushing Trump out of the way so they can put their man Biden and Kamala Harris in office. Now that we have the Biden administration in, they're going to do everything to put America last. Trump's goal was to put America first. He even told so-called black people there's nothing to fear, because he's not necessarily against ya. He's not your primary enemy at this moment in time. He's not. People always wondering about why this guy looks orange the way he does. It's because of the fact that he is not a regular so-called Caucasoid down here. So, see, another thing is this: because the Andromedans hate Dracos, and the Arcturians have a really big beef with these insectoids. They decided to team up. The Andromedans and the Arcturians decided to team up against their enemies, so an enemy of my enemy is my friend. See that? So now they're teaming up against them, and they're fighting with each other. Okay, they're the Dracos and the insectoids are having a very difficult time right now on the planet, because they're walking around very weak and they don't have enough nourishment. And this is why people are starting to see that there's a lot of people going missing right now. The reason why a lot of people going missing right now is because they need a constant source of food to keep themselves alive, because the adrenochrome was in place of that. And now that they don't have that, and they don't have enough, blood from these blood banks to siphon off from, all of their stashes and giant stashes and millions of stashes of supplies have been destroyed in different sectors on the planet. They're going crazy right now. And that's why they're doing everything they possibly can to attack the carbon-dated people on the planet. The Biden administration is behind all of these so-called black people running around attacking Asians and stuff like this. Okay, they're behind that. The Biden administration, yes. Okay, and it's only creating more beefs between so-called races, which is really different species on the planet. Notice when that white guy did something very similar, the Asians never came out and said anything. But as soon as a black man does it, now they want to get on a black person's case. It's because all these people are in bed with each other, and they all come from the same genetic line. Whites, Asians, Mexicans, Dravidians, Arabs, El Salvadorians, Ecuadorians, Arabs. All these people come from a similar genetic coding. They don't come from our coding, they come from something else. And that's why when one does it from somewhere else and does the same thing that a so-called black man did, they won't call it racist. But as soon as you do it as a so-called black man, now all of a sudden it's racist. Because that's the narrative that they're trying to push to start a so-called race war in the country. Okay, and they're trying to make so-called black people look bad. And the reason why they're doing this is so that way you guys can't use the so-called race card. There's a quote-unquote race card. Why? Because they want to give those so-called benefits, or those, you know, they want to give those so-called, whatever it is that black people have in this country to keep themselves somewhat alive. They want to give it to the 22 million immigrants that are coming in across the border right now. And the Biden administration is behind that. They want to flood the country with immigrants so that way the immigrants can take up all of the resources that are left over that for the most part, I mean, the resources are very scarce in this country as we speak. We see what's going on with C-19, or, you know, you know what I'm talking about, C-19. I mean, come on, you know what I'm talking about. That shit has fucked things up. Jobs, people, you see what's going on with all these people and, you know, celebrating and partying and stuff like that. And then you see, you know, COVID rates spiking up and stuff like this. And then all these places closing down. There's not enough jobs. There's not enough work. People are already starting to see that the U.S. dollar is about to plummet. And we're going to talk about that in a little later on. And you're seeing that right now, you know, I mean, if you search this up, I mean, right now is a very critical time, because we're about to see the eventual collapse of this system. And Biden, you see him up there he's falling upstairs and stuff like this. And the reason why he's doing that is that's to let you guys know he's not going to stay there for very long. Kamala Harris is going to take over. Okay? Or this is what they got. This is what they got set up for you guys. And I don't understand why people want to keep voting Democrat when the Democratic Party is the ones who had so-called black people in slavery, so-called slavery. That's the party that had y'all in so-called slavery. Y'all the ones who found the Republican Party, but hey, you know, that's neither here nor there, right? Like I said, you guys watch way too much TV and don't know no better. It's the Democrats who wanted y'all to stay in so-called captivity or whatever, in slavery, prisoner of war on your own planet. But y'all will stay voting Democrat when the Democrats don't give a fuck about y'all. The Democrats has been that one party that has been destroying black people out here. And this is why I said what I said about Trump, because I knew the truth, and it turns out I was right about him. You see all these so-called white people crying at Trump, telling them to come back and to save them and all this and all that. The reason why they acting like that's because a lot of white folks know the truth about Trump also. They know that he was here to try to fight against these the shadow government. That's why they can't control that man. He was put in there as a mole. He was put in there as... See, I was right about him, see? Now, because everything Trump did, he was even making executive orders for the so-called black community and whatnot. He was actually trying to help so-called black people. He was actually trying to help them. See that? And now Biden is literally reversing everything that he's done. With all the he's just gotten office and he's already making executive orders. How is that possible, people? Not only that, but he's literally signed off 22 million immigrants to come in. They're gonna get Section 8 housing. They're gonna get all the so-called benefits that blacks and so-called Latinos, Hispanics is getting. Basically, they're gonna take over the mass majority of the country and take all of the resources that's left. They're gonna take that shit, and once they take that, there won't be nothing left for the original American people who are the ones that need those resources. I'm not saying that an immigrant or two can't come in and contribute. I mean, it's been happening for years, and we let it slide, right? But now 22 million? Are you fucking serious? That's gonna make, see, the country is eroding. The system is eroding. It's falling apart at the hinges, man. And what the Biden administration is doing, very soon, these people, these immigrants, are going to come into these carbon dated neighborhoods. These carbon dated people, you so-called black people, Latinos, Hispanics, they're going to come into your neighborhoods and start taking up everything. They're going to take up everything. I'm telling you. I'm just letting you know what's going to happen. And then, you know, there's going to be a lot more of these so-called black killing Asians and black killing immigrants and all this other shit, because they're going to be living right in close proximity to you guys in your neighborhoods. And then they're going to try to so-called try to ban. Right now, Biden is up there in Supreme Court trying to talking to Congress, trying to have some kind of gun laws for to try to ban all assault weapons or whatnot, to try to get them all banned, so that the cops can literally come into people's homes, American citizens that they're supposed to be so-called protecting, so they could come into your homes, break your door down with no freaking search warrant, and they could come in and try to investigate to see if you have a weapon. Because they don't even want you to be able to protect yourselves when shit goes down up in here very soon. They have a new movie that came out on Amazon Prime, and it's called, what's the name of that movie? It was on Amazon Prime, and I believe it's called, what was it? I know I saw that shit up there, man. I'm like looking at this, and I saw the film, and the film is very reminiscent to what's going on right now in this country and all the crazy chaos that's going on. And I saw it, and it was basically talking about this time frame that we're in right now. I believe the name of the movie was Alone. I believe that's the name of the movie. And in the movie, the main character, he was really going through some shit while everyone was acting all zombified and running around having all these problems. And you see that the CDC is talking about zombie apocalypse preparedness. I'll say it again, zombie apocalypse preparedness. Why would the CDC go up there and start talking about a zombie apocalypse and how to prepare for that shit? And then you got all these Pfizer vaccines coming out, and they're injecting all these millions of people. And we've already seen that these vaccines have very negative effects on people, especially our people. And then they're focusing on Latinos and blacks. But we got 9 suns outside of our atmosphere right now. We have multiple moons. We have different planetoids. We have all this plasma on the planet. We have all these earthquakes happening underneath the planet because of all the plasma that's building up underground. And we have these government factions fighting with these outer interdimensional beings and stuff like this. And at the same time, they're trying to destroy so-called black people's image out here. And then these so-called ignorant blacks are not helping the situation either with their stupidity and ignorance. They're only helping to put fuel to the fire. Because black people don't have a brain to think. And the few that do, they seeing what's going on and preparing for it. So what I'm trying to ultimately say with this video here, they know what's going on in Antarctica. They know what's going on. These satellites are watching. Everything here is a setup. And the setup is to have these Nordic Extraterrestrial alliance with the orcs so that they can come down here and start a problem for our people that's down here because they want to take over. You know, the Nordics, the blonde, pale Pleiadians, you know what I'm saying? And you know, they've made alliances with certain Zeta reptilians, you know, the pale looking reptilians that they're albino and whatnot. And they've made a lot of pacts and agreements with certain people in your navies, your military and stuff like this. Alright? They've made certain agreements with certain administrations down here. And the reason why they've done all this is to take over the planet. But because the planet is surrounded with Anunnaki spaceships, they know that their plan is forfeit. They know they can't do what they want to do. So what they're gonna want to do now is have some type of apocalyptic event happen on the planet where there's nothing but chaos in all of the states in the United States. And that's why you see when we talked about the FEMA camps, when we talked about how they got millions and millions of caskets set up, all those casket liners, all these bodies of people stacking up when all the killing is going on, that's where their bodies are gonna go. In those casket liners. And what I'm trying to tell people is to prepare out here. We have a lot of crazy shit going on. And all these killings and stabbings and killings. And you have a lot of people behaving very, very crazy around here. Like some zombie shit. You got people chopping people's hearts out their chests. You got people biting people's faces off. You got people attacking people for no fucking reason. And notice. As soon as Biden got as soon as Biden got into office, all of a sudden, black people are now the new face of racism in this country. If you look at what Biden wanted when he was talking to Congress and whatnot, you can clearly see that his laws were already the laws that he wanted in place were already set up to destroy the black community, the so-called black diaspora, if you will. And this is the guy that most of you so-called black people voted for. But here's the thing. Y'all votes is not what put him in office. It's your shadow government that put him in office. They forced their way into putting him in office. Now, they're gonna fake this this massive food shortage very soon. They're gonna fake this thing. I don't know if they're gonna try to pass those laws for those gun laws, but they're trying real hard to do so because of the fact that they don't want you guys to prepare yourselves or to be ready for some shit to go down. We're all watching and seeing what's going on. And I hate to say this shit, but for our carbon dated people right now, if you live anywhere near the hoods, the ghettos and stuff like this, and you seeing how our people are behaving, like you saw what happened over there in Atlanta, right now, you want to stay far away from our people right now, because our people is acting up, and they're losing like all freaking sense inside their head. Stay away from them, and if they're gonna kill each other, let them kill each other. Don't get involved in that shit. I already told you can't save the so-called black community. What's gotta happen is gotta happen to fix everything that's wrong with our people down here. But in the meantime, don't get involved in any of that shit, because that is just a blatant ignorance that has been force-fed upon our people by the Democratic Party. The party that's been killing up our people, or organ harvesting our people, burning us alive, it's putting us in slavery, whatever the hell you want to call it. Everything is backwards in this country. Everything is fucking backwards, man. You see all the satanic, so-called quote-unquote satanic rituals that they doing all over the fucking place, and people seeing what's going on and don't understand why it's happening. It's all, like for example, that crazy motherfucker called Nas X or whatever. How he showed up and just made that crazy ass video looking like a complete fucking, he made a complete embarrassment out of himself on film. You know why he did that? Because the goal is to tell black people to stop procreating and just become homosexual and just do not procreate. The point is to tell carbonated people not to procreate and to go against nature. And this is why they got y'all out here just doing all kind of stuff, and a lot of people are not getting aware of this and they're going the wrong way. Then you have, you know, we're you know, fuck it, I'll just bring it up anyways. A lot of these pills that the hospitals and the clinics are prescribing for y'all has estrogen and testosterone in it. High amounts of estrogen and testosterone in it. Y'all taking this stuff into your bodies, especially you women, and then you have a child inside of you, then the child starts having a hormonal imbalance, and then the child comes out homosexual or whatever, and nobody understands why. You have a chemical compound called atrazine, and what it does is that it makes people go the opposite way sexually. It makes you go the wrong way sexually. Okay? All right? They even tested this stuff out on two male frogs, and one of the male frogs became a female frog after putting extremely high amounts of this stuff in the body. And one thing I teach people is that the spirit and the soul remain the same no matter what. They can't be manipulated. If you were born a man, you're a man. If you were born a woman, you're a woman. But the flesh bodies that we have can be manipulated, like zombification. That's a form of manipulating the human body. Diseases, benign, malignant diseases, stuff like that. That's a form of manipulating a body, a flesh body. So could that work on a human being? Most likely, yeah. And it's corrupting your DNA at the same time. So understand, everything that's out here is to go against nature and destroy the original people on the planet. Okay, and we need to see this for what it is. We need to see this for what it is. We have a lot more crazy shit going on in this country. And I guarantee you people are going to start fighting in these streets very soon. Because those Asians, they're not going to take this ass whooping for long. And I'm telling you, eventually people are going to get tired of dealing with the police. And then they're going to want to be trying to fight with the police. It's going to get out of control soon. It's going to get out of control soon. Because your 2012 really is 2021. Because the numbers are in reverse. And that's what people don't really understand. 2012 is 2021. Your numbers are in reverse, people. That's why what's going on is going on. Okay? And then the thing is this also. Right now, because gold and silver is going up, the stock value for gold and silver and copper is going up. Anybody with etheric gold in their body, which is a carbon-based person, a carbon-based life form, the value of your carbon in your body is going up also, which means you're an extremely valuable resource right now. A lot of y'all might want to be careful walking around out here because you could get assassinated, get murdered or whatever. They take your body and then they trying to, extract shit from out of your body and use your ass as a resource for whatever fucking gain they want to use out here. That's why you see these vans with no license plate on them and stuff like this. People have been seeing those lately online. They're like, what the hell does this mean? And whatnot. Yeah, they're human trafficking. That's what that's about. You understand? Carbon dated people, y'all the main target out here. Y'all the main target. Y'all do something, it's racist. A white man do it, oh he was a sexual a sex addict and he was just crazy. And then the Asians never bring him up. But when you do the same shit he did, now you racist, right? See, what's up with the double standard? It's because they need that shit. They need that so-called quote-unquote double standard because it's about making you the global enemy on the planet. This is why our people need to start coming together and start learning how to build portals. We need to start learning how to build. And that's what I'm telling you. Remedy H, he's on the right track, man. Some of you guys live in cities and can't build that kind of stuff where you stay at because you don't have the resources or the land to do so. But the ones that do have it and are looking up information and know better, do the same thing. I encourage you, please, attempt to try that. Learn from the man. Go inside your own records. Try to find out how to do that and go ahead and do that, or ask him for advice on how to do it. We need to become self-sufficient. If we don't become self-sufficient, we're not going to get the 100% result that we want. Yes, things is going to happen regardless, but we need to put in some type of effort as well. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Things are going to happen no matter what, but if we want the 100% result that we want, because the plasma apocalypse is shit's on the way, so we're still going to get results, but just because we're going to get results doesn't mean that we should just sit complacent and let these people just do whatever the hell they want, because they don't go that way. It don't work that way. He's right. It doesn't work that way. So, serious in the temple here, and I'm just letting you guys know. And I'm gonna be making another video on a different topic very soon, and whatnot, and be teaching you guys other forms of meditation, visual meditation and stuff like this, and all kind of cool stuff and whatnot. Because they keep deleting my videos and stuff like this, and it's really starting to piss me off. And see, once a portal is established, it's game over. Literally, it's game over. Literally. This whole system is falling apart, and there's nothing that these folks can do about it. Plus, in 20 different countries right now, all of their birth rates are going down on the planet. And there's not a single so-called quote-unquote black country involved in any of that. Their dollar is going down. Their birth rates is going down. Their system is going down. The economy is in shit mode right now. They're holding on to for dear life. And a lot of you guys are worried about these stimulus checks and stuff like this and don't really understand. Just because they're giving you money don't mean everything's grand. Don't mean everything is, everything is cream cheese. You understand? Don't get it twisted. Okay, don't get it twisted. Okay? Alright. They seeing all kind of spaceships right now in Antarctica right now. Gigantic spaceships. Things that look like semi-planetary looking type shit. Okay? Now they're trying to figure out a way to block the fourth from merging with the third. They're trying to figure out a way to block that shit, and they can't. So they stay spraying the skies out here with these chemtrails. Okay? Somebody asked me something. Somebody asked me, so if all of this is going on, what are we supposed to be doing? That's a great question. What we're supposed to be doing is tapping into self. And I'm so serious about what I'm saying right now. We're supposed to be tapping into self and figuring out what is what, how to do things. Trade skills are perfect for right now. Learning a trade like carpentry or anything else, a trade right now is perfect for learning how to build stuff. You understand? We need, a lot of us are dealing with the university and all this other stuff, and if you're trying to get your degree, whatever, fine, whatever. But what I'm saying is this: a trade is a way better plan altogether, because you're learning hands-on skills that you can use to make serious amounts of money, of course, but also it's the value of the knowledge that you have. It can be used to build very crazy looking structures, really advanced stuff. You understand? And I encourage us to start looking into things such as that. Dealing with other facets of, like, dealing with electricity and all kinds of other things, because guess what? We are the responsible ones, because this is our planet. And we need to start acting like it. And yes, some of us live in certain circumstances where we cannot build anything because it's just going to get destroyed. We can't just leave it out there. But for the ones that do live in the right circumstances, in the right kind of neighborhood and stuff like this, where you have plentiful land in front of you, use that to your advantage so you can try to build something. Get information from Remedy H. Put your best foot forward. Yeah, it might be a little scary at first to put your feet in the water, but you gotta attempt to try to do something to get some kind of result afterwards. It's not impossible to do. It takes a little bit of heart. and it takes a little bit of time, and it takes a little bit of dedication and a little bit of work. All right, there's nothing wrong with putting yourself forward. Besides, if you have that much land anyways, you might as well use it for something. That's all I'm saying. Now, because of the plasma apocalypse, the plasma is feeding on itself right now. And there's more coming in on the way. And we have this gigantic, I don't know what you call this thing, but it's this giant like mass of like plasma that's going to be coming in soon. And it's going to completely fuck everything up. Okay? Listen. Okay? Shit's going to be over and done with then. But like I said, if you guys want the maximum result, then yes, building would definitely be a very good, would definitely a great tool to have in your tool chest or whatnot, or whatever way you say it. These entities think that they can just do whatever the hell they want. They want to use us as a planetary, galactic, cosmic resource, and they want to use us as a genetic bank, like I told you guys on season 3. I told you guys about how they want to use us and stuff like this. I believe it was season 3. And they want to use our etheric gold, and they want to use whatever's inside of our bodies because of the fact that they need to keep themselves alive. And their time is running out, and they know this. We need to start getting really serious. We need to stop just watching a damn video and then just not doing nothing on the side. Because a lot of us are doing that. And a lot of us are messed up mentally to where we don't want to take responsibility for nothing. Okay? We need to start acting like we got some damn sense. We need to take responsibility. We need to look at the fact. If we don't work together as a carbon collective, we will never get anywhere. You understand? And that goes for all facets of situations, and that goes for all groups of people, no matter who they are. We're really damaged and messed up. And the people that did this to us are still attacking us to this very day. So when do we stand up and say enough is enough, or start trying to build and come together and put money in and start trying to move forward and build? It's just a question that I'm posing, because I think we need to understand that we even if something's coming, we still have to do something. We still have to use the intellect that we have to our advantage. We were created out of the cosmos, therefore all forms of cosmic information is inside of us. We just simply need to go within self to get that information out from in self to outside, so we can use our primary focus to build these structures, to build these things, to try to, I mean, shit. More than one of us has already done this stuff. Look at that guy that built that machine that uses the atmosphere to create water. He did that on his own. So-called black man, right? And then you had these people come in, and these agents, they came in and tried to destroy his machine and whatnot. Because they know that if this guy mass distribute, if he makes this stuff en masse and starts selling this stuff everywhere and whatnot, then the system is going to be in a very serious, problem, because they need us to keep drinking this fluoridated water. They need us to keep drinking the bad stuff that they got for us. Once we start creating for ourselves, yes, they will eventually try to come after y'all. But this is why you say, get prepared. This is a war, people. This is literally a war. It's not just a mental war. It's physical, it's spiritual. And of course, nobody wants someone to come after them for building something. And that's where fear comes in. That's where fear comes in. And all kinds of other types of psychological... it's all kinds of different forms of psychological warfare and stuff like this. And that's why a lot of people, most of our people, are not going to want to build anything. They don't want someone coming after them. But here's what you fail to understand. They can't watch all of us 100% of the time. They can't. There's too many of us on the planet. So if we all start building, and we just don't give a fuck, we all start building, they can't keep up with all of us. That's the point. We're spread all over the place. They can't keep up with all of you. Eventually, one of you is going to end up building it, and then the Anunnaki warriors are going to end up coming through the portal, and then it's game over for their ass. See that? We are responsible for the survival and the safety of our own genetic. So let's start acting like it. All right? We need to start putting in the work. Put in the work. For anybody who has the resources to do so, put in the work. Because the results will be stupendous. It will be out of this world. Focusing on fighting the orcs is not the goal. Focusing on intellectual properties, knowing how to build things, and then using these things that you've built to your advantage for your carbon collective. That is the proper way to move. The fight's going to come no matter what. The fight's going to come no matter what. But the point is to be prepared for that fight, that war, that so-called war or whatnot. Alright, this is a video dealing with current matters in the situation, and me putting my 2 cents involved dealing with what's going on in the world right now. This is Sirius Inner Temple Spiritual Network, and I'm out. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit me up on Odyssey. Hit me up on the comments, the emails. Of course, my email and the place for donations will also be on Odyssey as well. It'll stay the same. The information will be the same. And all right, people, let's get the ball rolling and let's see what we can do. There's an abundance of information on how to do things online. Look up that information and start getting kind of creative. You'll be surprised at what you guys can build if you just put in the work. If you just put in the effort. And then, of course, you have Remedy H that's out there, and you know that if you start asking him questions, he's going to give you all the answers that you need. Why not use him as a resource for your intellectual purposes? This is Sirius Inner Temple. Peace. Oh, and yeah. Think about it, guys. Sirius out.